welcome back to the episode of the Sports Coverage Network. And we're going to get right into the action, the live action. We're going to get right into it. The NBA playoffs is upon us. And let's jump in these lines. Who we like, who we don't like, and let's get this money. With the Detroit and New York game, I like the Knicks with the 7.5, 6.5. It's jumping between the 1 point difference. So either the 6.5 or, pardon me, the 7.5. I like either one. So I think the Knicks should handle business in game one at the Garden. Nice crowd should be there. Everybody should be ready to go. So, Mikal Bridges and boys, Cat, to get busy, Bronson, and they're ready. So I like that. So that's not even under discuss really much for me. I'm taking the Knicks with the 6.5 or the 7. The Miami Chicago game, got that push that's tonight. Pick 'em. I don't like that game, but if I had to pick one, I'll take the Chicago with the 1.5. I mean, it's not too much going on with that one, so but I'll just take Chicago. But it's more of a pick under me. But like I said, I lean towards the home team in that game. Then we have Sacramento and Dallas. What? Ooh, that's a tricky one. But I'm taking Sac. I'm taking Sac once they get home. And 90% of these games, I'm gonna take the home teams in the scenario with game one. For some reason, I think the home teams have the advantage. So, like I said, I like Sacramento with the 4.5 over Dallas in that game. And also, we have Milwaukee and Indiana. This is interesting. Dame Time is not playing. If Dame was playing, I like the Milwaukee. I like the Milwaukee in the series and his first game. Without Dame, I like Milwaukee with the points though. The plus 5.5, I'll take Milwaukee with that plus 5.5. I don't think Indiana's going to cover that plus 5.5. So that's one home team that I'm not taking with the points. I'm taking underdog with the points, which is the Bucks with that plus 5.5. I like them all day with that. So like I said, if Dane was there, I even money line him, but I don't think that spread would even be there. It'd be a different spread if Dane Time was there. It wouldn't even be the same. So, but right now we want to stay what it is right now. So I'll take them to plus 5.5. The tough one, Denver and the Clippers. Ooh. A lot of people are saying which LA team's going to do better in the playoffs, which bring me to this conversation I'm about to go into now. I'm gonna give it the spread, but now to the Clippers in front of me. I'm gonna be a homer. I think the Lakers gonna go further than the Clippers. That's just me, not just because I'm a homer, but I think they have a better team than them, and they playing a lot better than the Clippers at this point in time, in my opinion. With that said, though, I like Denver with the 2.5 over the Clippers in this game. We want to stick to the script, so I like Denver. Once again, a home team. I'm taking them with the 2.5. It's gonna be a tough game, but I think Denver can pull it out with that 2.5. Okay. The uh, Boston with that 14.5. Boston with that 14.5. With Orlando. Boston's gonna kill them, but that 14 is steep. I'm not taking that 14 with Boston. I'll take the plus 14.5 for Orlando. That's steep. I mean, that's a lot of points to cover. I don't think Orlando won't lay down that bad. Hopefully, so I don't like that 14.5 with Boston. But I think Boston going to dominate that game. But as far as like points, no way. I'm taking Orlando with that plus 14.5 all day with that. And that's what I like far as what I'm seeing in the action with the NBA coming up this Saturday night. With the play-ins is tonight, and we had one guest day where the Golden State Warriors was in the tight game yesterday with the Grizzlies. Great game by the way, but they pulled it out. So and we also have Houston and Golden State. Almost forgot. Wow. That's gonna be a tough series. Houston is favored to win the series and win game one, and they have home court advantage. With that said, playoff experience, Steph and them boys, Ron, Houston, that's gonna be a good series overall. Okay, game one. I think I'm gonna get game one in Houston now. I think I'm gonna get game one in Houston, and I think this series is gonna go 7. But game one is 1.5. I'm taking Houston in game one. That with that minus 1.5 all day. Definitely, I like Houston in game one. If we had to do the series, to get some money, I actually think Golden State might pull that series out as far as the series because I like this. If you could bet the series, whatever you betting with, whatever app you using, whoever you use with, if you could bet the series, and I mean I like the upset. I like Golden State winning the series and the upset. But as far as game one, like Houston, but like I said, this is a real interesting one. I like. If you could bet it, I keep repeating myself because I think Golden State gonna steal this series for some reason with experience and with Steph and them boys, like I said. So and that leaves us with the last game that we have now available to pick from as of now until we finish the playing games tonight. So, and like I said, that's 95% of the home teams that I'm going with as far as these lines, as far as the NBA. And that gonna lead us back to draft. The drafts. Now, we got Travis Hunter back in the spotlight with he wanna play both ways or retire or don't pick him, don't draft him. That's his attitude. Um, everyone's in the uproar and the frenzy with this situation. I think is I don't think is that he wants to play a full time both ways. And I think this is a misunderstanding where everybody is taking it. Dion didn't play, his mentor, his coach didn't play full time both ways. Um, so before everybody get their panties in a bunch, that's just relax. He wanna play both ways, but I don't think full time. That's the key. That's the key. He don't play full time both ways. Let's stick to the script. Um, should he play both ways? Can he play both ways at NFL level? How long? Physicality, injuries, competitiveness, speed of the game from college. All these questions is running around. I think the young man's talented to play both ways. Of course, not full time. Um, would I let him play both ways if I was a coach or a GM of a team? Absolutely yes, I would do it. I would definitely do it. But like I said, I would have a like it's not baseball, but I have like a pitch count for him, as they say in baseball. I would give him a certain amount of plays on offense, certain plays on defense. I think he's a better defensive player, so he's gonna be when I'm drafting him. If I was drafting him, I'm drafting him more towards the defense end side of the ball. So he would play a lot more defense for me than offense. So and also we gotta also figure who drafts him and it's different scenarios who drafts him. Now, for example, someone made a good point to me. They said I bring this up again because like I said, they're top three, top four draft picks. They said what if the Giants was to draft him and line him up on offense with Malik Neighbors? My engineer said this brought to my attention. I didn't think about that. And I said, yeah, that'd be good. I was talking about quarterback, still want a quarterback. But for a team like the Giants, I will put them a lot on offense with Malik. If you got a decent quarterback to get the ball to both of them, because that'd be wow. That'd be a nice. They both talented receivers, not just receivers. They talented receivers, whatever. So like I said, it depends on what team draft him, where you're gonna put him at. Or like a Dallas Cowboys, they're not gonna draft him. We just talking. A lot of offense. Him and CD, for example, that'd be yeah. Hurts me to say this, but it is what it is. Yeah, him and CD on the side by side, or that'd be nice. So like I said, the key with him is where he get drafted, what team drafts him, what team drafts him. Regardless who draft him, I'm still putting him more on the defense in the side of the ball. With that said, so I wouldn't draft him. Like I said, as far as my team, even with the Malik Neighbors pitch, my engineer brought to my attention is great and had me thinking about it. Like, oh, but I don't. I'm not big on Russell to be there that long, and I don't see another quarterback that can bring this team past 3 and 4 years with that tandem. That's good enough. So that's why I still wouldn't take him for us on my team. But definitely it's a talk right now in the draft with his last interview saying he wouldn't play both sides of the ball. But I think people are taking it out of too much out of context. Like I said, he's definitely want to play both sides, but I mean not full time. So that's gonna really have an impact on his draft because when you bring this young man in, you know for a fact what he want to do. So before you cause a problem, a riffraff, I mean, I think a GM will definitely consider that they know when they draft him, they gotta give him some plays on both sides of the ball. So that's going to be really impact on the draft now. That's going to shake things up because he put it out there. Like we've been knew this, but to actually go on an interview and put it out there so he can go back and say he got receipts and I told you before you draft me what I want to do. So I think that's going to like people. That's going to shake up the draft for us who gets them and how they want to utilize them. So that was kind of big. That is big news because he actually put it out there now, directly out there in the draft before the draft even started. So that was smart by him because he could, like I said, have his receipts. So that's going to impact him where he goes. But I think not too much because I say he's talented and I don't think you pass generational talent up like that. Another talk of the college world is not draft, but it's still part of the college world is Nico, Tennessee. Big time talk, big time talk. It's like we have our first holdout of the college football with Nico because Nico was supposed to be coming to spring ball and didn't show up for spring trainer, spring ball, whatever the case may be, because he wants more money. Like I said, I don't know the details really behind it, but I have no problem with asking for more money. It is what it is now. It's college. That's what it is now. They're getting paid. And it's big business now. So I mean, if you take them to the bank, take them to the bank. Now, how you go about it is the problem. Now, if he's supposed to be in camp and his guys are waiting for him, which is his teammates at that level, he should have handled that before camp. I still think NFL and college. I think college should have that situated beforehand because I mean they can't just adapt as quick as NFL can at that level. The young players coming in, and also sometimes most times you have a redshirt freshman or you have a freshman behind that quarterback that's starting for you. So that's my only problem. How you going about it, or how you went about it if once the details come out. Now, what I would say now is they said there's no market for him. Where you gonna go? The only problem is he can't stay in the SEC because that's part of the rules with NIL. You can't I think transfer or you can't go to the same conference team. But I got two teams I think that pay him the money and benefit him coming in. I got two teams. First, I'm gonna start with my Michigan Wolverines. Horrible quarterback play by us. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So I think the Wolverines will really benefit taking Nico. Pay him his money. You got nothing to lose. We all have a top prospect coming in, I believe, but we know what Nico can do. Let us team to the playoffs. We seen him on tape. We seen him on action. It's there. Everything is there with Nico. So I mean, you know what you're getting up hand. So I really would love for Michigan to go after Nico. I really would. I really would love for Michigan to go after Nico. I mean, I think it'd be a great addition. I mean, the team not far off. Defense is always going to be there with us, and I think this is what we've been missing since last year, since we had no quarterback. Like I said, you watched the college football, you watched Michigan, or even just in general highlights, it was quarterback. The quarterback play was horrendous. The other team I think will take Nico and Pamba's money. Yes, UNC, Belichick. Belichick is here to make a name for himself, make a splash. Um, he's not here to lose. He's here to win. That's what he does. And I think it's a good fit. They don't have a quarterback right now that's better than Nico. And I think Nico coming into that to UNC with Belichick, I think it'd be a smart move also for UNC if Michigan don't get him. So either way, I say UNC and Michigan definitely should look into that Nico situation if Tennessee don't bring him back all of a sudden. But they said no one's bigger than the team, blah 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 blah. So he might not come back to Tennessee. But if he do not come back to Tennessee, if he do not, I say UNC and Michigan pay the man his money, or one of them will pay the man his money and get him. Mark my words. That's as a betting man, I'm betting on UNC or Michigan going to end with Nico for the at beginning of the college football season with that. So I, before we get out of the retirement jersey thing, and I love Travis and Shador. I love both of them. I do. Ah man, I'm gonna be honest, man. Retiring the jersey. Oh my God, Dion. I mean, everyone got a lot of hate for Shador and Dion, but I think Dion just threw oil on this fire, man. Got me gasoline on this fire right here. I mean, I don't think they should retire their jerseys, honestly. And like I said, I love both players. I mean, they didn't do enough to get a jersey retired. I mean, like Dex said, I didn't even think they won a bowl game or a big bowl game or I college playoffs. So I agree with the hoopla with this scenario for that. All other crap they putting out there with Shador and all them. But this one, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair. I'm not gonna be biased. I'm gonna be fair. I think it's a little too much. You don't retire my jersey with the what they have done at Colorado, which is really nothing as far as retiring jerseys. So I gotta agree with the masses on this one. I gotta agree. I think it's a bit too much, and I think they put themselves out there right now with all the hate they already have with this move. I wouldn't this route, but it's what it is. They're gonna do it, and like I said, so we're just gonna be another part of the circus with the Shador and Travis Hunter, and the haters are gonna love this one. But like I said, I think we're giving a lot of bait with this one. D. I mean, Deion Colorado would retire these jerseys. Like I said, um, and that should wrap it up for us with this edition of Sports Coverage Network. Until again, peace.